All right, let's dive right in today. We're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of you will find pretty interesting. We're going to be doing a deep dive on mindful breathing techniques for stress management.
Yeah.
I think, this is something that a lot of people hear about, but I'm not sure how many people actually,
Right.
really dig in and learn some of the techniques.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're gonna be looking at a source called Testo Incolado. We're going to be pulling out some really specific. We're going to be talking about 4 breathing techniques that are
Okay.
pretty widely known for being effective for managing stress,
Awesome.
and we're going to be talking about just sort of the how-to and
Yeah.
the why and all that good stuff.
Love it.
And I'm already feeling a little bit more relaxed just thinking about it. So
Me too.
let's get into it.
Awesome.
So the first one that we're going to be talking about is diaphragmatic breathing.
Okay.
Now this one,
I love that one.
yeah, this one I feel like, when people think about, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath.
Right.
This is what they're thinking about, right?
Yeah.
You're really engaging your diaphragm and you're using that muscle
Right.
to pull the air deep down into your lungs.
Absolutely.
So I think that the technique here is to actually put your hands, one hand maybe on your chest and one hand in your abdomen.
Yeah.
And to actually feel those muscles moving
I love that.
to make sure that you're really getting that
Yeah.
deep breath.
That full inhale.
Yeah. What do you think about that one? What's your...
Well, I think it's fantastic. And, we talk about mindful breathing and breathing techniques, but sometimes we forget that the breath is actually tied to our nervous system in a way that we
Right.
don't often think about. And so when we do something like diaphragmatic breathing,
Uh-huh.
we're actually signaling to our nervous system that it's okay to relax,
Wow.
right? Because we're using that full lung capacity.
Yeah.
We're slowing down our breath, and that's sending a message to our brain that says, hey, we're safe. We can chill out.
Right.
And so it allows your body to kind of shift from that fight or flight mode into more of a rest and digest mode.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so it's not just about getting more oxygen. It's really about regulating our nervous system.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about this.
Me too.
Okay, so let's move on to the next technique.
Okay.
This is called the 4-7-8 technique.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this one is interesting because it has this very specific count.
Yeah,
You breathe in for a count of 4, you hold for 7, and you exhale for 8.
that's it.
And I have heard
Mhm.
anecdotally that this technique is incredibly effective for calming anxiety.
Yeah.
What do you know about this?
Well, it's funny because it sounds so simple, right?
Right.
But again, it goes back to that mind-body connection, that specific rhythm, that 4-7-8. It actually helps to regulate your heart rate variability.
What is heart rate variability?
So heart rate variability is essentially the variation in time between your heartbeats.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just about how fast your heart is beating,
Right.
but it's about the subtle changes in the rhythm.
Huh.
And increased heart rate variability is actually a sign of a healthy and resilient nervous system,
Okay.
meaning that your body can adapt to stress more effectively.
Oh, wow.
And the 4-7-8 breathing technique is a really powerful way to boost that heart rate variability.
Oh, that's fascinating. So there's an actual physiological reason why this works.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Have you ever tried this technique like in a...
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time, specifically, I was about to give a presentation, and I was really nervous,
Uh-huh.
and I could feel that anxiety building up in my chest, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this 4-7-8 breathing.
Yeah.
And within a few minutes, I felt that tightness in my chest start to ease.
Wow.
My thoughts slowed down, and I was able to focus on what I needed to do.
So this is like,
It's a game changer.
yeah, like a little secret weapon
Absolutely.
that you can use anytime.
Anytime.
You're feeling that anxiety.
You got it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
All right.
This one's called alternate nostril breathing.
Okay.
Now, this one,
This one's fun.
it's a little different.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little bit more,
Yeah.
mystical.
Man,
maybe?
a little woo-woo.
Yeah, a little boo-boo. So basically what you do is you use your fingers
Right.
to gently close off one nostril and you breathe in through the other nostril.
Yes, right.
And then you switch and you breathe in through the other nostril.
Yes,
Literally
right.
like this,
Like a little dance.
yeah, a little dance with your fingers and your breath.
Love it.
But it's thought to balance the energy in the body.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
Absolutely. This is a technique that's been used in yoga for centuries.
Really?
Yeah. And the idea is that by balancing the flow of energy through the body, you can reduce stress, you can create a sense of harmony.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that some research suggests that alternate nostril breathing can actually influence brainwave patterns.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? So there's some science
So there's science
behind
it.
this?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so last but not least,
Okay.
we have mindful breathing.
Yes.
Now, this one I think is interesting because it's kind of different.
It's a little different.
It's a little different from the elements. It's not so much about changing your breath.
Right.
It's about observing your breath. So
Exactly.
you're really paying attention to the physical sensations of each inhale
Mm-hmm.
and each exhale.
Yes.
And when your mind wanders, which it will, you just gently bring it back to the breath.
Right. Right back to the anchor.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy for our minds to get caught up in thoughts and worries.
Yeah.
And mindful breathing is really about cultivating that present moment awareness.
Right.
So we're not trying to change the breath.
Right.
We're simply noticing it.
Yeah.
And by doing that, we're training our minds to stay focused
Yeah.
and to avoid getting carried away by those stressful thoughts.
It's sort of like hitting the pause button.
Yes.
All that mental chatter.
Exactly.
And just bringing yourself back to the present moment.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the best way to practice mindful breathing?
Well, there are different ways you can approach it. You can focus on the sensation of the air moving in and out of your nostrils.
Okay.
You can notice the rise and fall of your chest. Or you can even pay attention to the gentle expansion of your abdomen as you breathe.
Okay.
Really, it's about finding what resonates with you.
Yeah.
What feels most natural.
So this has been really fascinating.
I know, me too.
We've learned about all these different breathing techniques
Yeah.
that we can use to manage stress.
Right.
We have the diaphragmatic breathing, the 4-7-8 breathing, alternate nostril breathing, mindful breathing.
And they all work in slightly different ways.
Yeah.
But they all tap into that same power of the breath.
Right.
To influence our nervous system and our mental state.
So what do you think, what would be your advice to someone who's listening to this and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
these all sound great.
Yeah.
Where do I even start?
Right. Well, I would say start with one that resonates with you the most.
Okay.
Try it out.
Yep.
See how it feels.
Yeah.
Experiment with different techniques. See what works best for you in different situations.
Okay.
Because, the amazing thing is our breath is always with us.
That's true.
It's like this built-in tool that we have to regulate our emotions, to manage stress.
Right.
And it's free. It's accessible.
It is.
So why not use it?
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah.
We've learned about these 4 incredible breathing techniques,
Mm-hmm.
and we now have the power to use them,
Absolutely.
to manage our stress, to feel more centered,
Yeah.
to just kind of navigate the challenges of modern life. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
And until next time, happy breathing.
Happy breathing.